Hello, everybody. My name is Jayman. Welcome to the Jayman Show, which is airing live from Being in the Studios of Boston, Massachusetts. This is my first show, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we have wonderful guest, singer, producer,
Yes, sir.
Ugo. How are you, sir? Good to see you on the show today.
Pleasure's all mine.
So, can you tell me a little about yourself, about who you are, and what made you want to become a singer?
Yeah, I go by the name of Ugoboy. I was born here in the U.S. I spent a lot of time in Nigeria.
Okay.
From a very young age, like with my father and my mom, they both played a lot of different types of music, so many different sounds from Michael Jackson, DMX, Tupac, and so the music was just like something that always get me going from a young age. And you know, it started young, and I trailed into sports, but eventually I got back into music. It was just a form of expression. Like, you know, music was just a way for me to express myself, being the only boy amongst like 4 sisters. So like music was my way of like, okay, this is my way, this is my way out, you know, so.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good to hear. So,
Yeah.
so can you walk us through your creative process? What's it like to create a song for you?
Music, like the creative process, it could be so like, it could be different. It depends on the day, it depends on who I'm with. So if I'm by myself, it's like alchemy. You know, you just start from scratch, where I might come in with an idea, what I'm feeling for the day, and you know, I start chopping up different samples and, you know, create the beat. And as I'm doing that, certain melodies start to come together. And by the time the beat's done, I'm like, okay, I think I know what I want to say. And I'll, you know, go and record myself and play it a bunch of times until I feel like I'm ready, add some layers, and then I bring my team in. That's when I start, you know, allowing critiques in, because I like to flesh out the idea before, you know, it's like tainted, you know, type of thing. So, but like working with a producer now, where I still have an idea of what I want, you know, I'll come in there and I'll tell them like, this is what I'm looking for, and you know, by God's grace, you know, they create something that applies to that, and we just go from there, where I'll just figure out the melody first. And after vibing to the melody, it'll give me more of a direction where I want to go, and then I'll go back again and tighten it up, and then that's usually what people end up hearing. So,
Wow, so that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
So what inspires you as an artist? What gives you inspiration and hope to do what you do every day?
My family, first and foremost. Like, God has shown me a lot of things through music. Like, I feel like music has saved my life in a lot of different moments, you know. So there's that, where I feel like being talented enough to give it to the world, it's my duty to bring my best foot forward. And just the way my family supports me through that process, it keeps me going, where like there's a purpose to it. Every day I wake up, I have to create something. I have to be pushing forward with the agenda, because I got people that have bought into it, that believe in me. So it's not about just me anymore. So, you know, that's it's a cool pressure. It's not really pressure. It's a good sense of like urgency and like assurance, like, you know, you're not alone, but there's work to be done. So
Yeah, we definitely inspire me, brother. So, and yeah. So how do you connect with your audience through your music? I mean, what do you want your audience to know about you?
Well, Ugoboy, man, a visionary. The aura is just very strong. It pours out through the music. I just express my point of view through life and allow different sounds and rhythms to, you know, for people to relate to and move to. Because I feel like with music, first and foremost, it has to like channel a reaction, whatever the emotion it may be. So I feel like if we could associate my music to some sort of aphrodisiac of the sort, you know, whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood, the aphrodisiacs can enhance it one way or another. And I like to allow my vocals and production to do that. So
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Now, since you've been in the music business, have you got to meet any celebrities or artists that inspire you?
Oh my goodness. One of my idols, one of the people I look up to that I've been striving to work with, you know, I got the chance to meet him this year, Davido.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of the biggest Afrobeat artists in the world. Like, he's a pioneer in the game, and I think for me it's not just about music as to like what follows me, what like leads me to the way he moves. Is how he treats his team, how he treats his family, and you see how everybody's involved. That kind of ecosystem type of mindset, you know, I align with that, you know. So getting a chance to meet him and go on tour with him earlier this year, it it was earlier this summer, I should say. It was like a dream come true. And when I met him, I didn't even get a chance to introduce myself. He knew who I was, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, that was inspiring for sure.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
So as an artist, I mean, what can you describe a time when you faced a creative block and how you overcame it as an artist?
Creative block, writer's block, as we like to say. It happens, you know, sometimes where you put too much pressure on like trying to make the next hit or outdo what you've done, or maybe keep up with what's going on. You find yourself like overthinking it. I think for me, like I created a rule where like music is so like raw, you can't force it. If it's not, if like you're in a moment where you just keep edging at it and it's not, you're not creating that, you just gotta, you know, live a little bit, relax, like, you know, get inspired, step away from it. Like for me, I don't like pushing through writer's block. Like sometimes artists have the idea that you have to finish a song or idea even if you know it's not. I feel like don't waste your time, you know. We want to create high quality music, so we're not in a rush. There's a sense of urgency, so we create a formula to work with that allows us to create at an efficient rate. But at the end of the day, it's free flowing. You have to allow it. That's how you get through writer's block. Allow it.
Well, that's good. That's information to hear. And so, what advice can you give artists, producers that want to be, you know, a singer or a producer? What advice can you give them?
Like a producer that wants to transcend into singing? Or just vice versa?
Or maybe vice versa. You know, both wants to be a singer or artist.
As an artist, like, there's nothing stopping you from painting or sculpting or drawing or any of the above. Like, it's still artistry. So now my advice to someone that wants to like get into production or start singing, you're never gonna know how good you could be until you start. And to be good at anything, you have to put your hours in. So you have to try, and that's kind of what keeps you young in this music industry. When you get stuck with just doing one thing, it might become mundane. So like trying new things, it gives you something to like work towards. So like my advice is just go for it. You know, study the guys that that you enjoy listening to, and study their process, and figure out how you could apply that to you. And, you know, build with that and just keep at it, you know.
That's good advice. So I know that you're an artist, but do you also want to maybe transcend into acting or do any movies in the future?
Absolutely. I would love to get into acting. And the thing is with music and movies, they're right here. You know, and even how artists like to give off their artistry, there's a cinematic element to it, and those moments are usually the most enjoyable. So I feel like there will be a time when my phone gets called and my name gets called, and I will answer. I will be there. So I'm excited for that. I know it's gonna happen. It's just, you know, right now the music is the focus, and we're pushing that, but we're open to opportunities, you know, where life may take us. So
music is definitely number one. That's good to hear, my brother. I absolutely hear you. So what is it like to go on tour? I know you've done a lot of tours and performing out. So what's it like to be on tour?
Well, there's been different type of experiences for, like, I'd say when I went on tour with CK, the campus tour, that was an interesting experience where, like, you know, we'd meet up at the Plug headquarters, and, you know, we'd file into these buses. There'd be like 50 of us squeezing into these 3 small charter buses, and, you know, it'd be a tight drive from, you know, Lagos to either Osun State or Ogun State or any of the states that we went to, and though it was like slightly uncomfortable, it was a great experience because we created bonds. Like, you know, there were people on that bus I've never met before. A lot of artists just like myself from Lagos. So there was a lot of opportunity to connect and meet, you know, other people like myself, or just people in the space that could get me to that next step. So I appreciate every moment of that tour. And then something like, you know, going on a tour with Davido, where it was low-key spur of the moment how we ended up going from Boston to Toronto. So, you know, when everything was like short shot, you know, I pulled my managers together. I'm like, all right, like, we got to grab our bags together and hop on the road. So we drove, you know, ourselves to Toronto. It was like a 7-8 hour drive, but it was dope, man. We all took turns driving. So it's, you know, being an independent artist, you have to like bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You have to. You know, I'm not big on gambling or anything like that, but taking risk and believing in your artistry and your craft, like it'll pay off, you know. So yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna take a quick break now, and we'll come right back to you with Hugo and the Jayman Show. Please stay tuned, everyone. Thank you.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever.
This bad dude got me feeling so high. Follow, come, baby, meet me outside. I get vibes when I see you, can't lie. We can do what you want for the night. I'm down in Gazi, and baby, what do you want from me? You go chop on me, start for me. I wanna come tonight only. Baby, rock on me slowly.
So tell us a little bit about the song and what made you want to play.
Yeah, so Enjoyment, that was a vibe I created when I was in Lagos. The thing is with being in Nigeria, especially during like December time, there's like a reputation for it being a season for enjoyment, for festivity, people just being outside vibing. So I was definitely inspired by the times and the moment that I was in, and I wanted to like capture that moment and create something that didn't have to just sit during that time period. We could play it all year. We could play it in the winter, in the summertime. December it was gonna get played again. So I wanted to create a vibe that expressed how I was feeling. It was a great time, you know, filled with enjoyment, filled with vibes, and, you know, so when I linked up with the producer, I met him during the writer's camp. You know, we locked in. His name is Sound Chef, from Imo State. When we locked in, came to the studio at my apartment, and, you know, he sent some beats, and I chose this one, and we got right to work. It wasn't really too much to it, you know, so, yeah, Enjoyment. I'm excited for it. We've been working it, milking it for a good portion of the year. It was recorded in January, but I think there's no better time than now to give the people what they want. You know, we've been performing it, all these tours that we've been on. So the people have been eating it up. They definitely like what they hear. So
yeah, I'm loving it too. I mean the beat. Just, you know, it's like get to it too.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta move a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. So what made you want to bring this song? I mean, is it going to be released in the U.S. anytime soon?
It's going to be available everywhere worldwide next Friday, August 18th. So, yes, stay tuned for that. There's definitely more in store. There's definitely more music. I've been holding out for a little bit just to make sure, like, for the sake of quality control, just make sure I'm giving the people, you know, exactly what they want, the best of the best. So I'm excited. Yeah, Enjoyment's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, especially now, we all need something. People all need something they can enjoy, especially everything's going on in the whole world. So I think that's definitely a good song to put out.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
I congratulate you on that. You know, that's a wonderful song. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So my next question to you is how did COVID affect you being shut down? Was that a hard time for you being stuck in quarantine?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll say first and foremost, right before COVID happened, I was blessed with a baby boy.
Oh my God!
So I'm
Congratulations.
a father, yeah. So
Wow.
I can't say COVID was all bad. I was definitely blessed, you know. So there was that. But as an artist now, it definitely challenged me.
Wow.
I would say that I realized a lot about myself because of the pandemic. I realized at that point I was a little bit more dependent on whether it was the producer or the engineer or whatever it was. It just felt like because I couldn't get to them, everything was shut down. And the type of creative I am, I like to be in a little bit more control in that. So it forced me to learn how to record myself better. It forced me to be a better producer. It forced me to be more creative as to how I convey my message, how I push my music. I had to be more creative about it because we were stuck in the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were stuck in the house,
You
so
are.
I would walk around the house trying to figure out different ways as like, how are we gonna pull this into what we're doing in a high quality fashion. So it forced me to be like a little bit more innovative, and I'm thankful for it, for sure. For sure.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good to hear because I know COVID was a hard time for everybody. So I'm glad that you everybody's enjoying that. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist though, I can't say, like, the thing is with COVID, that time period, there was a lot of lives lost. So
Yeah.
to even look at it in a positive way, sometimes I feel guilty about that. But as an artist, it, like I said, it challenged me and pushed me. And you know, the artist I am now, the creative I am now, is way stronger, way more self-sufficient. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the challenges and the lessons that it taught me.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah. So I heard you're one big heck of a performer. You know, you're on stage, do your thing. You know, girls can wire for you. You know, you know, they do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do you approach performing live? And what's the best part about being on stage performing?
By the time it's time to get on stage and showcase, it's time to show what we've been working on, what we've been doing. So leading to that moment, there's obviously rehearsals, you know, where I sit with my managers, my DJ, and we run through these songs. We do the vocal checks, making sure everything, the quality of the sound is where it needs to be. I spend a lot of time working on my body, you know, in the gym. So not just to look good, but like I run, I'm conditioned, you know, I make sure I have the endurance to be out there moving at that pace and still sing at a high quality, you know? So there's a lot for me that goes into it. Just on that aspect, I do spend some time actually working on a few of my dance moves here and there.
Wow, that's good.
But there's still room for improvement on that. That one we're getting to. But nonetheless, like, as an artist, I know I'm not there yet, but I've looked up to people like Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, electrifying performers, you know, where you're wondering how are they doing these routines while singing at that, like, you know, at that capacity. And that's what we're striving and working towards, and being on stage and having people react to the music and everything that we have going on the way they do, that's my fire. That gets me going. You get what I'm saying? So once I start seeing the lights, I start seeing the waving hands, I'm all in. Nothing else matters. Like, we're gonna go crazy, you know? So just the idea that I'm in front of anybody, I just want to make sure that they're getting the best possible show that they could get from me. Like, not just, he's on the mic and we're gonna give them a show, not just a performance, a show.
That's what I'm talking
about. So that's how I like to treat my performances. I love performing. Like, I love performing. That might be my favorite part about the whole process, performing. Like, I get so excited for it, you know. And being an athlete, at least a pastime athlete, it's like showing up for game day. It's the same type of approach. So, like, I get fired up for performances. I love it. I love it.
I know. If you get you perform here in Boston, I got to see your show.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Absolutely. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny you said Beyonce. She's a good performer myself. You know, I saw her concert, like, wow, you know, homegirl B, huh?
It's expensive though. Those tickets are.
I know, a lot. You know, but okay.
But the work that she puts into the production and everything, like, that's where we want to take it. You know.
Yeah.
That type of showmanship. So.
Okay. Well, this is a wonderful interview. You know, and
Absolutely.
Are there any words of inspiration you want to say for people? I mean, that look up to you and how we can find you in your music?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all my supporters, because, you know, the man that you're looking at today wouldn't be who he is without you guys. So I'm grateful. And for every artist on their way up, remain focused, you know, keep the vision clear and be grateful. Be grateful, because at the end of the day, more blessings will come when you see that what's in front of you was what you've asked for at some point. So just keep pushing, man. Like, anybody could be a star as long if you decide to be it and live with that and move forward with that. So yeah, man, just be yourself though.
Yeah, well, this was definitely an interview. I'm never gonna be. I came to see you perform in Boston. You
Absolutely,
know,
for
you did a
sure.
great job on the show. Thank you for on my
Pleasure
show.
so
You
much.
know,
Thank
God
you for
bless
having me.
Absolutely, you're welcome on your time. And next time we have you perform, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see your fans see your performance and see what you're about. You know,
That's right.
You are the real deal. You know. So,
Thank you.
You know,
Man,
and
I
I was
appreciate
like,
that.
wow, man, this is you go in my studio performing. You know? You got some girls have studio.
Yeah.
See you going crazy. You know?
That's right. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I
I
can
gotta
see
get you at the next show for sure.
I can see right now. Put some girls say, you know.
That's right. You know.
Be next Usher, you know, like, you know, maybe even try and sort the TD Garden, you know.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon, you know.
Working towards
Yeah,
it.
I can see myself perform with you. You know, I'm a good dancer, you know.
That's right. Hey, we'll talk. We could talk about that later though. We'll see what we could do.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
All right.
Yeah, but this is definitely, I definitely appreciate your time, you know.